Is it all over for Vettel? Is Aston Martin the one killing Vettel's career? Are we ever going to see Vettel on the podium ever again? Are we ever going to see Vettel race in Formula One after this year? These are curious questions. Curious, very, very curious questions. And hopefully this video breaks it down for us, because this is another one of them perspective videos. So we should get some proper perspective on this. Taking a look at Sebastian Vettel's career. Is it all over? Let's see. Starting now.
At one point, Sebastian Vettel was Formula One's next big thing.
Yeah. And at one point, he was the biggest thing, eh?
Formula One sees a lot of young drivers, but having unlimited potential and the ability to be the very best and leave your mark in the sport is on another level. Monza 2008 was the big one, the day Sebastian Vettel solidified himself as a future force to be reckoned with, and a driver with enough talent to make everyone believe anything was possible with this guy. Winning in difficult conditions in a Toro Rosso at Monza in 2008 was one thing, but the real madness took place when he got promoted to Red Bull. Now, I don't want to review his whole career because I do want to focus on what's happening now. But let me explain what it was like being a Formula One fan during the Sebastian Vettel era. His prime years were from 2010 until 2013, where he won 4 straight titles. But in 2011, Sebastian would win 11 races and score 6 podiums, missing out just twice in Germany and Abu Dhabi. You could argue that 2013 was better. 13 wins, 9 of them in a row, winning the championship in India and eventually finishing the season with a massive 397 points.
9
At
wins
times
in a row.
it was more than
Hold on a
domination.
second. I did not know that. 9 wins in a row. Jesus. That must be demoralizing for the rest of the grid. You're like, book it. The dude is winning today. He's winning the next week. He's winning the next. Jeez, that is. Yeah. You might as well see it again. 9 in a row. I did not know that. That is a little crazy, sir.
It was better.
What the
13
hell?
wins, 9 of them in a row, winning the championship in India and eventually finishing the season with a
9?
massive 397
In a
points.
row?
At times it was more than domination. 9 straight wins, in my opinion,
That's what I'm saying.
goes beyond that.
That's what I'm
That
saying.
is just total annihilation. Not even giving the rest of the competition a sniff.
That's
Any
what I'm
hope.
saying,
There was a
bro.
point where I thought that Sebastian was unbeatable, completely untouchable, and that he would dominate for years to come. Sebastian was so
9?
good that people would boo him on the podium. His
9?
prime is often regarded as one of the best ever.
9?
A great example of an amazing driver who was just in tune with his car. But let's fast forward to the now, 2022. It's been a bad start for Aston Martin to say the least, and even though it's a long season ahead, I'm losing more and more hope as the weeks go on, and it's only been 3 races. After Sebastian left Ferrari at the end of 2020, I felt like we saw a calmer, more relaxed Seb in 2021 in a new environment, a bit of a change, which would have definitely been kind of good. He also seems to be interested and invested in Aston Martin's long-term project. Sebastian is 34 now, and that doesn't really mean he's too old. Fernando Alonso turns 41 this year, and Fernando is still performing at an extremely high level. For me at least, I think Seb just kind of looks a bit, meh towards everything at the moment.
Yeah.
And I don't really blame him given his current circumstances. I mean, sure, Australia was his first race back, and the car looks to be absolutely hopeless, but the 3 incidents were a little bit concerning. Now, you could put this down to the lack of running Seb has had in that car due to COVID. He missed the first 2 races. He also missed FP1 and FP2. Seb would crash in FP3 and during the race would have an off at turn 11, saying the car was difficult to judge under braking, and then losing it on the exit of turn 4, hitting the wall and being out of the race. It was obviously just not a good weekend for Sebastian Vettel. A lot of people saying one of his worst weekends in Formula One. He joined Aston Martin because of the future potential the team had, and the process was something Sebastian could play an important role in. But 2022 was the big opportunity for Aston Martin to make a big statement. Now, with any big regs shake-up, there is a lot to learn and plenty to improve on as you get more familiar with how this new spec of car operates and behaves on the track. I have talked a little bit more about Aston Martin in a video which you can check out in the cards or in the description. Either way, the current Aston Martin AMR 22 looks like a handful. It just looks like it's extremely difficult to control.
Yep.
And definitely not the car Aston Martin were hoping to have this season.
Yep.
It's no secret that Sebastian has thought about retirement before. After the 2020 season and the depressing final year Seb had with Ferrari, his spirits were pretty low. If he was already 1 foot out the door, it just makes me think, could he be kind of moving that way again? Could it be a little bit easier for him to reconsider stepping away from Formula One if he feels like maybe he's wasting his time or he's not got the right car and he can't really do anything? I did have a bit of a gut feeling before the season started that this could be the last season in F1 for Sebastian Vettel. I'm not sure why.
What do we think?
Kind of felt like it would be if Aston Martin really didn't hit the ground running. He doesn't have anything more to prove. He's won 4 straight titles and dominated the sport for many years. And we also know that he does have other interests away from F1 that may be more important at this stage of his life.
Yep.
If he was ready to retire, I just don't think he would hesitate. In saying all of this, if the motivation returns, if Aston Martin improve and make huge strides, and I mean huge strides, Sebastian could be fully invested again and all in. That car looks to be the worst car on the grid right now. Seeing Seb in that position is a bit of a shame. Same with Lance Stroll as well, because I'd love to see how those drivers perform in what looks like a great midfield battle this season. What I worry about is the legacy of Sebastian Vettel being sort of stained, or people maybe forgetting about it or not holding it in such high regard because maybe he has dropped off or not been able to perform so well. Prime Seb is one of the best Formula One drivers of all time. One of the best primes I have ever seen. You cannot be in prime forever, of course. If he called time tomorrow, I'd remember Seb for being so good that it actually scared me at one point. Sebastian is an interesting case because he went from one of the most hated drivers to now being one of the most loved drivers on the grid. He is one of the funnier drivers in F1 as well. He is a bit of a joker, but also very intelligent, and someone I think will play an important role in F1 after his career is finished. I think Seb's got so much to offer on the outside. I could see him in maybe an advisory role or maybe pretty high up in F1 or even the FIA. I think he has so much experience and he is so smart, he would bring a lot to the table, and I think a role like that in the future when he does call time on his racing career, I think he would bring a lot and have just so much to offer and would be a great addition. Sebastian Vettel could drive in Formula One for many years to come. Who knows? I want to quickly touch on Fernando Alonso because when Fernando Alonso was in difficult positions, I, in my opinion, still feel like he dragged every single bit of performance out of the car he was in. I feel like Sebastian struggles a little bit more when he is under that sort of pressure. And I think Fernando just never really dropped off to a point where it started to make people kind of almost question his legacy or his achievements. I don't think that's justified for Seb, and I think that might be a reason why some people kind of knock his achievements a little bit now. Again, not for me. Sebastian Vettel is a guy that annihilated a sport for quite a few years.
I am sorry.
This is one of my favourite series that I do because we get to explore both sides, maybe a few different angles actually, and it kind of makes you rethink your opinion and brings more thoughts into your head. So hopefully this got you thinking. I would love to hear from you now. Will Sebastian Vettel retire? Is this going to be the last season for him? It is still very early, so keep that in mind. Things can improve, and he could be in the sport for 3, 4, 5 years, who knows? Feel free to follow me on Instagram for some behind the scenes content and future video sneak peeks. It's always a good time.
That's the end of the video. Yeah. It does look like he's a little relaxed. Like what he was saying here, just looks like he's a little relaxed these days. But oh my god, bro. Oof. I'm still not over the 9 straight. I'm sorry, bro. The 9 straight wins is still a little puzzling to me. 9 straight wins. Like what he said there. That's past dominance. Like at that point, like it's got somebody. He's got something against the drivers. Like to win them all 9 straight times. That's basically half the season, no? Like what? Woo! That's a little crazy. I'm sorry. That's a little crazy. Imagine if you thought you had a chance. Like imagine if like you were struggling with Seb. Like he won one, you won one, he won one, you won one. Like you were both like close together in points, and then he just goes on to win 9. Woo! That's gotta be demoralizing, guys. That has got to be a demoralizing. Wow. I did not know about the 9 straight. That is quite crazy to me. You can let me know what you think about that in the comments as it pertains to his career. I mean, he still puts on somewhat of a show every now and then. But there's just not that, oh yeah, he was a Formula 1 champion type drive. I haven't seen that in a while. Like, yeah, this is the 9 straight guy. Like, this is that guy, the 4 straight guy. I haven't seen that in a while. But you can let me know what you think in the comments, man. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. And let me know if there's been any other person to win more than 9 straight. Cause that's gotta be like a record of some sort. Like most wins straight 9. That's nutty, man. That's crazy. But if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.